Hey everybody, I'm Bill Bengston. I'm here to invite you to my workshop. It's a post-conference workshop to learn my healing techniques. You might be interested in my healing techniques for a variety of reasons. One, if you're interested in practicing healing, it has some pretty interesting consequences. And if you're interested in researching healing, you can set out to expand the work that I've done over the last 35 plus years. I developed this healing technique many years ago and have taken it and tested it in the lab on people, on plants, on carrots, on mice, on cell cultures, and it's reasonably interesting, and it produces some interesting results. In particular, and perhaps a little bit uniquely, it seems that it has a very strong effect on cancer, to the point where under experimental conditions we can say that we have indeed cured experimental mice of what would normally be a fatal dosage of cancer. And we've done this in many independent labs over many iterations of these experiments. We've also had similar experiences with people, although we don't stick them in those little cages. We've had literally hundreds of cancer cases of people that have been done by people all around the world using these techniques. And one of the interesting things is that a lot of these folks were healers before they came and learned my methods. And after they learned the methods, they've applied it based on their clinical judgments to folks who have cancer and other conditions that seem to respond to these techniques. In particular, these techniques seem to work not only on cancer, but we're having very good luck with Alzheimer's. We're having very good luck with cataracts. We're getting very good luck with inflammation of almost any sort. I have experimental data from Wake Forest Medical School that essentially indicates that these techniques produce the fastest response of inflammation that has been, at least as far as I'm aware, ever produced in a lab. And so the stuff is interesting. Now, I don't misunderstand me. I am in no way claiming that this is some magical thing that is going on. One of the most unresearched areas, as far as I'm concerned, is comparative healing. And so there are folks who come out from a particular healing modality, and they can do things I can't. And apparently, I can do things they can't, which is interesting. In particular, just to pick on myself, this technique doesn't seem to work very well with benign growths. If you have a malignancy, you're in the right place. But if it's a benign growth, not so good. We have even jokes that extend this. The joke I tell perhaps the most would be that this technique won't have any effect on a wart. And people laugh at me and they say, you know, anything will fix a wart, Reiki will fix a wart, suggestion will fix a wart. Well, the people who have learned my techniques can no longer fix warts. It's pretty interesting. And the people who have come to me from other healing modalities who could not previously do cancer now seem to be doing cancer and Alzheimer's and things like that. And so I think a good clinical application for anybody who's out there practicing is to kind of have the different techniques and try to figure out what it is that they do and which techniques work on what and which techniques don't work on other things. And so mine seems to have a niche that seems to be different. If you're an experimentalist, this becomes equally interesting because what you have is we can now do cancer in the lab. We can do it with cell cultures. We can do it with animals. We can do it with people. We can do it, the stuff responds. And this opens up a whole range of experimental possibilities. I will have summarized some of those in my keynote talk. This workshop is really it's simply a practice, learning the techniques, practicing the techniques, and we're just going to ram as much as we can into a day so that at the end of the day, you'll know the plot. You'll know what to do if you want to practice to master this, and you'll probably hate me. And the reason you'll hate me is that this is hard work. My techniques involve drill and practice of very rapid imaging and a variety of other techniques. It does not produce instant results. You're not going to leave as the grandmaster at the end of one day, but you'll understand the plot. You'll understand what to do. and you'll understand to take this into the lab or into clinical work should you so choose.